You'd watch Conor a bunch.
Yeah.
Did you use him as a role model at all?
100%. Like the way he carried himself into fights, the confidence, his confidence to say what he thought was I'm gonna knock this dude out round 2. I'm gonna do it. Like I got a lot out of that, and I was like, okay, I can be confident like that, and I feel like I got lost almost in a sense where I wanted to be like Conor too much instead of being like myself.
Finally! This, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call character development in the biz. Sean O'Malley is finally coming to the realization that he doesn't need to put on this prancing flamingo shtick in an effort to put asses in seats anymore. He's finally learning to just embrace who he really is. And he's finally in a mental place where he's espousing something that everyone and their mother in this fandom has known for years. And with this realization, I think we're about to see a better fighter come out of it. First and foremost, I want to put out a disclaimer that I'm not just going to come out here and throw the usual, he's an industry plant, or he's not really that big of a star, it's all manufactured mumbo jumbo and shit and fart all over the guy. I mean, that certainly is kind of true, as the company gave him a palpable push throughout his career, all the way from him dispatching scrubs like taking candy from babies to him winning the title and then losing it. He's always been a bit of a darling for the promotion, and they've made a concerted effort to convince everyone that he's the next big dollar generator. But that's all been said 1,000 times. What I prefer to do is look at this in a more positive light. We're seeing one of the more successful wannabe McGregors, admittedly, openly shedding that horrid, cringe-inducing snakeskin and embracing a more truthful one underneath. And I, for one, am glad to hear it. He already got all the way to the top, got the strap, he's already lost it and then failed to reclaim it, and has openly talked about possibly not fighting again depending on how things shake out going forward. You can tell that there's a certain weight off his shoulders that may have been holding him back to a certain degree in the past. So I'd like to focus more on that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to refrain from making fun of him for his radioactive attempts at being McGregor.
What exactly have you guys been messaging about?
Hey, that's up to him to tell you. I might tweet it later. I don't know. If he doesn't want to tell you, he doesn't got to. I might tweet it later. We'll see. The only reason anyone knows Merab's name is because I handed him my jacket. That's it. Not even, it's just it. Conor's not, maybe some of the stuff he's done recently, not a wannabe, but, his career, he's had a pretty sweet career. So, yeah, I think it's someone, not too bad to look,
Now, O'Malley always had the makings of a star purely from his style alone. I think even his most avid haters calling him a cornball can't deny that he's one of the flashiest and most exciting fighters on the roster. And although Merab is growing on us as a champion with his recent defenses, let's be real, Sean losing that belt was depressing as fuck. He's so sick on the feet with a hefty amount of finesse. It made the lower level competition at 135 look like bags of wet sand when they went in there against him. And even when he was thrown in there in the deep end with top 5 level competition, he proved that he belonged and he could still do it in style. He had that technical tit for tat match with Petr Yan that he definitely did not win, but it's, water under the bridge, I guess. Then stuns Aljamain Sterling with a pitch perfect pull counter, then eats Cheeto Vera alive for 25 minutes, putting to bed all the silliness surrounding their first fight, fraud check this, perennial nerve that, blah blah blah. He proved he was the better fighter in the end. And sure, he lost to Merab and basically accomplished nothing in either fight, but Merab is a maniac that has and will continue to do that to everyone, so whatever. Anyways, point is, the UFC saw potential early with this guy and did everything in their power to give him the push. With his sizable online following and viral knockout highlights plastered all over the internet, and with him vocalizing that he was going to be bigger than Conor McGregor, it was easy to think early on that he would actually be able to realize said potential. But we learned pretty quickly that once he had a bigger spotlight on him with major press conference appearances and whatnot, is that despite the crazy hair colors and wacky glasses and interesting outfits, the man just did not have the silver tongue to go with it.
Братан, при чем тут рост? Вы посмотрите на его вид, это как девушка с дороги, я не знаю.
It's not about the height. Just look at him. He's like a whore on the side of the road.
Any response, Sean, or are you just going to leave that one there?
No, that was good. That was good.
When Petr Yan is out trash talking you with a thimble of understanding of the English language and all you can say is, yeah, ha, good one, man, haha, that is an earth-shattering yikes. We are all screaming yikes from the bleachers. There was something just so strange about seeing someone with similarly flashy striking to Conor McGregor, with an even more outrageous fashion sense, who very much looked like he wanted every eyeball on him, only for him to have the personality of a Ziploc bag. Something about this picture just did not mesh. And here's the thing. I'm not saying you have to be a loudmouth asshole with a list of quips at the ready all the time. I'm not saying you have to be obnoxious. When you claim you're gonna surpass McGregor in popularity and walk around looking like an endangered cockatiel, people are gonna be confused and are gonna make fun of you when your fight selling skills hit like a wet napkin. Sean's one of those guys where his fight style is all he needs, really. His hands sell him perfectly fine alone. And when you hear him on podcast interviews, he seems like a chill ass dude. I really think all of these clown car shenanigans were just unnecessary. Man could have just been himself and would have faced a lot less scrutiny. And I think what definitely didn't help his case is the whole narrative floating around that he wasn't really as popular as he or the UFC would lead you to believe. His audience was mostly teenagers or otherwise younger adults that would be less likely to actually have the money or even give a shit to pay for a pay-per-view. And Aljo himself was pretty open about how disappointing the payout from their fight was.
I got the pay-per-view numbers and me and her were going through it and I'm just like, these are the numbers that this guy was trying to say, like he's this big pay-per-view star. I'm just like, oh my God. And then when I saw the numbers, I literally said to her, if I had any idea this is what the numbers would have been, if I could have predicted that this is what it would have been, my ass would have waited.
But in O'Malley's defense, the pay-per-view model has been dying and on the way out for years regardless. They are literally getting rid of it in 4 months. And I do think he would have done better if he was, say, fighting for the title 5 years ago, even 4 years ago. But in saying all that, you gotta think, with the pressure of being an exciting knockout artist every time, like you gotta make it fun, and the pressure of climbing towards the belt, and the pressure of keeping a hold of it, and then the pressure of losing it and trying to get it back. And on top of that, the immense skull-crushing pressure of being the self-proclaimed next Conor fucking McGregor. And combine that with the pressure of not quite living up to that, this dude must have been under way too much mental strain. He was just straight up acting like someone he never was. He was always confident and for the most part always performed and was entertaining in the cage, but I think he was very aware of the fact that he did not have the sauce in the fight promotion department. No matter what he did, he always came off like a bump on a log, and him saying he felt the need to manufacture a beef with Merab was clearly the last straw. It's just not in his bone marrow to do this. He doesn't need to do it, and he finally knows it. And so I, for one, am elated at this news. He's already been to the top, he's still there, he's still in his prime. Even if he's not McGregor level popular, he's still a big name. People will still tune in to see him fight. But now at least he can just be himself and focus on improving as a fighter. And thank Jesus H. Christ we're done hearing things like this.
Cheeto's a fucking pinata. Peter Yan's one fight away from bare knuckle boxing, and Merab's nose more crooked than Joe Biden. Let's fucking